Bailey. I'm a senior designer at the Ulta Salon in Washington State. This is my guest Mahalia. She is my fellow stylist here in the salon. And today we are going to be doing a red violet burgundy balayage on her. So Mahalia has natural level 3 hair. She has not done anything in the previous years. She does have a little bit of old lightener through the ends, probably about the last 2 to 3 inches. So I'm working with fresh hair. The reason I chose to do a lightening process instead of lifting her with color is because of the vibrancy of the color that she wants to be. So I will be going in with lightener and then toning her to that burgundy red violet shade. What I plan to do is an intersecting diagonal placement of my packets, and I would do a medium weave, and then with the fallout from that weave I would go in and do another weave, back comb, and do some of her ends. I want to leave as much dimension as possible but still get her bright enough to where her color really shines through. For this process I plan on using the Redken Flash Lift Blonde Idol Lightener. I'm going to be doing that starting with 15 vol in the back, because I do start in the back and then I rinse as she gets light enough. I'm going to be lifting her to about a level 6, so I don't have much red undertone to work with. I mostly will have golden undertones to work with. I will be doing pH bonder as well. I love this stuff. It is absolutely incredible. It keeps the hair in such great condition. I do 4 milliliters of this to every 1 ounce of lightener. Okay, so I have mixed my products. I have 2 scoops of the Flash Lift Blonde Idol Lightener from Redken, 2 ounces of Developer. I did half 10 and half 20 to create that 15 volume, and then I did 8 milliliters of pH bonder. Okay, now that I have my lightener mixed, I'm gonna section her off into 4 quadrants. I'm gonna keep her middle part. I'm gonna part off right behind the ear, and then I'm going to section off down the middle into the nape, and same on the other side. Start in the back, because as I go toward the front, I want to be able to rinse without affecting the rest of my processing time. So I will be starting in the back left quadrant, and I'm going to be doing diagonal back section first from the nape and work my way up to the top of the section. So back left quadrant, I'm going to do a diagonal back off of the nape. It's about a 1.5 inch section. I'm going to clip everything up out of my way. And from here, I'm going to be doing a medium weave to start. Taking my foil. And because she does want that very rooted look, I'm gonna start in zone 2, apply my lightener in my V pattern. I'm gonna take my blur brush and just kind of diffuse that line. I don't want to see any harsh lines, and because she does want it rooted, I'm not gonna take it all the way into zone 1. And then I'm gonna fold the hair. We don't wanna swirl because it can cause unnecessary tangling and breakage. And we're going to paint that lightener through her ends. And with what is left over in my section, I'm gonna go through and do a heavier weave. Like I said, I still want it dimensional, so I wanna leave this out. And then I'm going to do a light back comb through this section. Take my foil, place. I'm going to do this one a little bit lower. I'm going to focus this a lot in zone 3 because I still want to keep it really rooted. I just want to take the blend up. I don't want it to be any harsh, distinct lines of where I put lightener and where I don't put lightener. So I'm going to place in zone 3 in that similar V pattern. Paint through the ends. Fold the hair. Take my blur brush, just kind of soften that line up a little bit. Because I am using flash, I like to be a little bit more particular with how I'm blurring my product. I'm going to fold, and grabbing the rest of my section, I'm going to go in a diagonal across this opposite direction. So I'm going to do a diagonal forward, same width, about 1.5 inches. Going to clip my section up. And I'm going to do the exact same process, a medium weave, blend from zone 2 lightly into zone 1, and then the deeper weave where I blend from zone 3 into zone 2. Clip it up out of my way. And then again, I'm taking that same fallout from before, deeper weave, and then I'm going to lightly back comb, take some foil, I'm going to continue that same pattern through the rest of the back quadrants. I'm going to go diagonal front, diagonal back, and keep stacking them until I get to the top. I've just finished the first quadrant. I'm moving into the second, and again, I'm going to go in with diagonal back, diagonal forward, diagonal back, diagonal forward, in that same intersecting diagonal pattern, medium weave, weave the fallout. I did remix my lightener. I did 2 scoops of the Blonde Idol Flash Lift Lightener with 15 vol. I did Peroxide Cream Developer in 20 and 10 and mixed them to get that 15. And then I did another 8 milliliters of the pH bonder. My way, I have my front clipped forward. I'm doing my diagonal back into the nape, pulling that up, clipping everything out of my way. I'm gonna go in and do my medium weave. Grab my foil. And again, I'm going into zone 2 because we don't want it too high. Painting my V. I'm gonna go in with my blur brush. Just kind of soften that line out. Painting zone 3. Okay, so now that she's been sitting for a little under an hour, I finished the back quadrants. I'm checking her first quadrant to see if it's ready, and it looks pretty good to me. So we're gonna take her back to the bowl and rinse her and then move on to the front quadrants. I'm gonna remix my lightener. As you can see, I'm empty. I started with 15 in the back and I worked my way. As I got to the top of the back last quadrant, I got to about 20 vol, and then I worked my way through the bottom of the first quadrant in the front. And now I'm gonna remix to about 25, just to get that extra kick so everything kind of processes evenly. I'm gonna be mixing the Peroxide Cream Developer in 20 with a little bit of the Peroxide Developer in 30. I'm in the top of the front first quadrant. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna part just a little bit differently. I did that same intersecting diagonal pattern with the diagonal backs and then the diagonal fronts. But once I hit over that parietal ridge area, I do section a little bit different. I go diagonal backs through the entire section, and I take the same weave size and then go in and do the fallout as well. But I kind of do that so that way when she parts down the middle, it just all kind of falls naturally. I'm not taking it too high into the scalp, which is good, but I still want to keep it off of that part line. So I'll go in and I'll do that diagonal pattern. So now that we've rinsed her completely, we are going to apply step 2 of the pH bonder, and I'm going to do about 30 grams of this based on her density. I'm going to apply this, it's going to sit for 10 minutes, and I use this as my opportunity to go in and kind of comb out that back. So we've just finished rinsing out the pH bonder. I let it sit for about 10 minutes and combed out that back comb, and then I brought her back, combed her out, and then did like a rough blow dry on her. She's about 80 to 90% dry, and now I'm planning on toning her. I normally would use a traditional toning method with the shades EQ Gloss, but for her, because she wants to be that really bright, vibrant red violet kind of plum color, I decided to go in with a demi-permanent line in the shades EQ Cream. I plan on doing half of a mix of 5RV and a quarter tube of the 06V and 04V to create that 5 formula, so a quarter tube of each of these to create half, and then the other half will be the 5RV cream line. And then I have 2.5 ounces, the equal parting, of the 10 volume Pro Oxide Developer from Redken. So she's been processing for 20 minutes, and I'm getting ready to rinse and wash her. I'm gonna wash her with the Redken Extreme Shampoo and Conditioner just because we did do such a big lighting service today, and then I'm gonna go get her styled. So we've just finished Mahalia's hair. It turned into this beautiful burgundy red violet shade. To style her today, I did a line 12 from the Redken Style Cream line. I also did diamond oil, anti-snap, and the pillow proof mist for blow dry primer and heat protectant. We went in and blow dried her with a paddle brush, and then we curled her with a Marcel curling iron in 1.5. She's got this beautiful deep root. We kept it extremely rooted, and then you can tell I went in with that medium weave, kept it very fine, and then just really saturated her ends in that beautiful color.